Good morning and thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the session Cloud Cost Management with AWS Cost Explorer and AWS Budget. I'm Suvarna Jadhav working with Cloud.in as a strategic partnership and alliance manager. For today's session, we have Sanket Parade and Siddhi Bilare as a speaker. Both are working as cloud solution architect at Cloud.in. As a part of solution architect team, both have expertise in delivering solutions by employing AWS best practices, leveraging the wide range of available AWS services. Whether you are a cloud newbie or a seasoned pro, this session will equip you with the knowledge and skills to effectively manage your AWS cost. Before starting the session, I would like to mention a few points. All attendees are muted by default and cannot be unmuted during a session. We will have a question and answer session at the end of the presentation. If in case you have questions in between the session, please raise your hand to grab speaker's attention, or you can ask a question through the question section. We'll keep last 10-15 minutes for Q&A. Feel free to post your questions in the Q&A section, and we'll address all the questions at the end of the session. Over to you, Sanket.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So, good morning, everyone. As myself, Sanket, I worked as a cloud.in as a cloud solution architect with a 3+ years of experience in designing and implementing cloud solution across various kind of industries, whether it is a SME or MNC kind of thing. So, first of all, the today's topic for the meetup is the cloud cost management. Basically, to have your financial management of the cloud infra, whatever your service you're leveraging, just to have that management of the cost in line properly with your whatever the budgets are there. So we'll be just walkthroughing to all this. So let's first understand about our company. Next, Cindy. Yeah. Can you just go to the who we are, cloud.in? Yeah. So let's understand the first about our company. We means whatever. So coming to a kind of a progression, we are a kind of a 25 years young company. Started our business with kind of a domain register and gradually moved up to uh, many kind of a cloud services. Okay. And in today's era, we are talking about the providing 24/7 NOC services of our customers of their workload on cloud. And coming to the journey of these workloads and whatever we have been delivering our solution, so there are 22,000 plus customers we are managing. And also what we are managing about the domains, as you can see the numbers, there are 40,000 plus domains we are managing for every each of our customers. Now this kind of are coming from multiple sectors, I would say. The verticals might be the hospitality, media and entertainment, the manufacturing, and etc. Okay. Next. So coming to our service offerings, so these are the mention our service offerings is our whatever our expertise we have in a cloud.in. First of all, whatever the implementation of the cloud infra, whether it is your new requirement for the cloud migration of the cloud from one on-prem to cloud or cloud to cloud, we do handle what are the expertise we are having in that. Second is the reselling and the billing services, basically the having your billing routed through our company, that would give some kind of a benefits to your AWS infra cost. Also third one is the cloud consulting and the advisory. So basically we have the evaluation kind of a stuff in our cloud.ins organization, where we evaluate your AWS cloud infra with your major using a major kind of an AWS native tools, which can help you in the resolutions of many cloud optimization cost activities, and you can have that in line to your budget kind of thing. Fourth is the managed services. As I mentioned previously, we provide 24/7 NOC and SOC team. So we do handle the managed services of our cloud infra, end-to-end kind of a 24/7 NOC team with a end-to-end kind of a migration, end-to-end kind of a implementation of our AWS native services. And last is the application services. So whatever related to application management and whatever related to it, so we do handle in that stuff also. Okay. Next, now let's jump to the agenda for the today's meetup session. So as you can see, this will be a kind of an agenda. It's a kind of a simple kind of a services you would say, but just to have the walk you through, we will be just going in depth kind of a knowledge of it. So basically means our cloud.in expertise lies in architecting the scalable, secure, and whatever the resilient systems on the AWS. But also we are also most focusing optimizing a solution for the cost efficiency, because everyone nowadays our cloud is getting too much costly and our infra is getting too much cost. So we need to have optimized kind of thing. So just to begin with this, so we can start it. Next. So first of all, let's understand key introduction of a cloud cost management. So we'll be just going to indulge into the traditional kind of a way what the cloud cost management has become. So in considering today's fast-paced digital landscape, managing cloud costs has become crucial and leveraging cloud services, right? So within our cloud routine, whatever the expertise we are holding of the AWS native tools, let's say considering what are the pricing models of their cost optimization techniques and tools like Cost Explorer budget, we at a cloud.in have helped n numerous organizations achieving significant cost savings and without compromising their performance and whatever they are delivering to their client. So considering that factor, we have considered the cost optimization activity, whether it's through resource right sizing or implementation or right or whatever the reserve instance or savings plan, or adapting any cloud cost aware architecture practices. Now the we do perform many kind of a war activities. Now these are the kind of a well architected practices we follow. So in that there is a pillar cost optimization. So we do have that pillar implemented in every AWS infra just to have that cost efficiency in picture. So that has coming into picture. So basically our goal is to ensure that your cloud infrastructure not only meets your business needs but does so in the most cost effective manner possible. Okay, so today we are excited to share some of the insights and strategies with you, so we can explore how you can make your AWS environment both powerful as well as financially sustainable, you can say. Okay, so let's understand the cloud cost management basically. So as the definition mentioned, key, it's also known as the cloud cost optimization, and obviously it's critical organization planning process that's empower the enterprises clients, right? So just the primary goal of the cloud cost management is to ensure that an organization maximizes its return on investment, means the ROI basically, right? So basically the ROI is the main thing in every cloud cost management. So in cloud technology, by optimizing cost without compromising your performance or the whatever the performance you wanted to deliver through your application or website. So that we need to consider. So this involves many strategies. The strategies would be identifying and eliminating kind of a waste, means what are the services you're not using still having running on your infra. So that could be one. Right sizing of the resources, whatever the instances you are running, whether it be EC2 server or the RDS server. So this can be a kind of a right sizing done based on their whatever the metrics are there. We can have that right side of resources done, and also making informed decisions that are aligned to both current and future business needs. Means considering your infra, whether you must be launching many of the services, but whether it is required based on your use case, we can have that in line. So whatever the expertise cloud.in holds in managing this cloud cost based on a use case, we can have that in line considering to your business needs. Okay, now let's understand the what are the just we as I mentioned ki what are this high eliminating the underutilized resources, unused resources. So let's understand in detail. So in many organizations, it's common to find compute instances, database, or storage volume that were provisioned for specific projects, but are no longer in active use, right? So these resources, if left unchecked or continued, it would definitely incur a cost. So it would add definitely unnecessary financial burden to your cloud infra, right? So by implementing regular audits and utilizing tools like Trusted Advisor or Cost Explorer, this can help organization decommission the ideal resources, and obviously it would lead to the immediate cost savings, right? And coming to the right sizing factor, another traditional approach involves right sizing, right? So whether organization assess whether their current cloud resources are appropriately matched to your workload requirements. Often instances and database might be over provision, right? Maybe you might be required only kind of a two CPUs and 4 GB RAM, but for the just to have that performance in picture, you would have higher or it's bigger kind of a instances launch, but it would definitely incur you cost, right? So by downgrading to the smaller or more cost effective option, the organization can significantly reduce their monthly cloud bills, right? For example, I will just give you an example. Let's say there is an e-commerce company, right? They might discover during the non-peak hours that EC2 instances are underutilized, right? So why to keep that EC2 instances running for that when they are non-peak hours, right? So by you can have the auto scaling feature, right? By leveraging auto scaling, they can have dynamically adjust capacity based on the real time, and whenever the high peak hours are there, you can have that auto scaling enable, and you can just have that template embedded into your cloud infra. which would help you in optimizing cost while maintaining the performance as well as. So your high availability of the e-commerce website is also maintained, and your cloud cost is also maintained. So everything works hand in hand, right? And also, now coming to the reserve and savings plans. Now the reserve instance and savings plan offer obviously the substantial amount of discount for the organization that can commit to consistent usage over 1 or 3 period, because the whatever the plans are there available with the AWS, it's for 1 year and 3 year, right? So however, maximizing the benefits of this program requires a deep understanding, let's say for understanding of your use case. How are you giving them, it's what are the your use case based on your projects. So organization that can effectively predict their let's say the effectively predict their forecast, how many users can be increasing by day. So accordingly we can have that reserve and savings plans opted for it. So basically the savings plan, reserve plan give up to kind of a 72% savings as compared to on demand pricing, right? So just a pricing short example, consider a fintech company running a consistent workload on a RDS database, right? Which would offer a reserve instances, because definitely the database would be requiring for a number of years. So they can have that instances to be done on a reserve plan, which would definitely give them a kind of a 60 to 70% of cost savings benefit. And definitely it would ensure a kind of a uninterrupted service, because the RDS has many features like multi-agent kind of thing. Also you can have the RDS proxy service also enabled. So what we can have multiple replicas also we can have it. So just to ensure your high availability, also we can have that cost saving done by procuring the reserve instances, right? Now just to evolve your traditional approaches, we can have the migration or modernization process also. Now while these traditional methods form foundation of cloud cost management, right, the landscape whatever the evolving, but today's organization are increasing and adopting more and more kind of a strategies. So let's to have that more approaches, we can have some kind of a automated governance, right? Means utilizing the AI driven tools that provide real time recommendations and automatic adjustment to the optimized continually. Means just for example, AWS cost anomaly detection is a kind of a AI driven tool you can see, which would help you in near future, right? So in further slides, Siddhi would be explaining the in-depth kind of a particular services, what are the benefits and features of it. So just to give you a glimpse of it, so AI driven tools can be also help to save your some of the cloud costs. You can also go with the serverless architectures. By leveraging serverless computing, reduce cost by only paying to the actual usage you have been used. So that can be also help. So these are the kind of new approaches or new strategies can be implemented, and to have that provision and manage server. Also you can have go with the multi-cloud strategy, right? So many of the organizations are leveraging multi-cloud environments to have taken a competitive pricing across different cloud providers. There, therefore, for just for optimizing cost and enhancing the resiliency. So this can be next. So now these are the kind of overview of a cost management tools. As I mentioned, key in further slides we'll be explaining about the cost management tools. So just to give a kind of a glimpse of the tools are there. So these are the tools which would help you in a aligning your financial cloud cost management. So just to provide kind of a list of it, it is a cost explorer which would help you visualize, understand, and manage your AWS cost, which will give you a kind of a dashboard view where you can have you can perform any multiple operations. You can get your multiple kind of last month's usage, last month's cost. It can get to the last 36 months of the cost explorer. You can get the last 36 months of your bill in a single dashboard only. So whatever, if you wanted to hover for the particular services of your cost, whether it is a EC2, whether it is a database, or whichever services you are launching in the AWS, so you can have that cost explorer in picture, and you can use the cost exploring thing. And coming to the second service, it is a AWS budget. Now budget is like a, you can say the alarm kind of a service which would help you track your bills on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, or whatever the customization if you want on a quarterly basis. So basically budget you can allocate to your cloud infra, where your bills would be a kind of a give a alert kind of a mechanism. Let's say suppose if you wanted to have your, let's say your budget for the cloud infra is for the $100, and you wanted to have that alarm set if my billing crosses $100 above, I need a alert ki, okay, my bill has been crossed or bill has been risen from this amount to this amount. So it would give you an idea, because we never know what activities, what malicious activity would we perform. So just to avoid that also, we can have that budget in picture. So it would definitely help your cost in a track, and you can definitely map, you can track your AWS cost and usage. And third and fourth are, these are the kind of both individual services are there. One of the services is a kind of a AI driven tool, as I mentioned previously, the AWS cost anomaly detection, which would definitely detect and whatever the give you alert kind of thing for your cost optimization. It would definitely, let's say, it would understand ki, okay, you are running the 10 of the EC2 servers, and only 8 of them are properly utilized and 2 of them are underutilized. So definitely it will give a kind of a detection ki, these 2 servers are kind of underutilized, you need to optimize it, or you need to have downgrade it, or whatsoever the recommendations the AWS would give. So we can take the necessary action on that, and we can definitely save some penny of us, right? And fourth one is the trusted advisor. Everyone knows this is a kind of a very much kind of a consulting tool, you can say. It was definitely will helpful for you. So now this trusted advisor not only gives recommendation based on the cost, but definitely gives on the recommendation based on the other pillars also, the reliability, availability, security, and also the fault tolerance. So based on this kind of a recommendations, we can have some changes, or some changes to our architecture, and we can help in aligning this kind of a pillars properly. So cost is the one of the major in this too. Next. So coming to the Cost Explorer, let's understand basically what is a Cost Explorer tool. So basically it is a tool which is kind of a giving a dashboard kind of a tool which where you can utilize, where you can visualize your cloud usage and cost. So basically you can get the whatever the reports. Let's say if you wanted to have on a monthly basis reports, and you want it to be in a kind of a granular format. So there is a kind of a option for the granularity purpose, so you can get that reports on a daily basis, monthly basis, or whatsoever. So there is a multiple kind of a customization, you can have that filters enabled for it. So whatever the tool provides you the data that is up to the last 13 months, and also there is a kind of a forecasting feature enabled which would give you the next 12 months, means you can have that future forecasting. Let's say I would get my, for the next 12 months the bill would be risen by 10%, or whatever the percent number would be. So that forecasting is also feature available in this Cost Explorer tool. So you can get that all kind of in a one single consolidated tool only. And also not limited to that, but it also recommends you the whatever the reserve and savings plan that needs to be applied to your account if you are not procured. So there is also a recommendation, you can say the tab, which would give you a kind of a based on your whatever the services you're running. So what services need to be optimized, considering the whatever the best practices techniques are there, you can have that recommendations to be implemented. So just to have a proper investigation, or you can say just to have your proper inline in a single dashboard, you can get this everything in a Cost Explorer thing. So in further slides there are kind of a demo screens also available where we have captured you can just have that walkthrough also. Now let's understand the features of the Cost Explorer. Next. So basically these are the some key features you can see. So first feature is the cost and usage reports. As I mentioned, you can have that granularity of your reports based on your requirement. So whether if you want, let's say my server is running for a my 2 servers are there and it's running for a monthly basis. Now let's say suppose one server is costing only $50 and another server is costing $100, but you need to know exactly which server has been consumed, how many of the utilization, right? So there is a kind of a filter option in a Cost Explorer tool where you can have that daily filter enable, and you can have both instances to be filter it out, and you can see key, okay, my server 1 has been utilizing this much for the daily purposes, and server 2 has been utilized this much. So you can have that customizable reports enabled. So not only limited to the EC2 services, but also you can have it for the multiple services in the AWS. So based on whatever the usage patterns are there, hourly basis or a per GB basis, you can get that granularity in the Cost Explorer thing. Okay, and second is the filtering and grouping. Yes, definitely. If you wanted to have some grouping enable based on any particular services, or if you wanted to have that DTO cost enable for, I need to just check for the DTO cost for the EC2 and RDS, how much my data transfer is going out from these 2 particular services. So you can have that filtering and grouping option enable. and you can have that flexible kind of analysis done, and you can just share with your internal team kind of, because let's say you must be having some multiple kind of a team, right, who would be handling uh, EC2 servers, or database team would be handling database. So they would be requiring that kind of a reports just to have that analysis. So you can have that filtering and grouping enabled for those teams, and you can share differently reports with them. So server team will be handling the server cost usage, database team would be handling database and all that stuff. So that can be customizable. So the lot kind of a customization is available in the Cost Explorer tool. And about the forecasting, yes, definitely there is a kind of a predictive analysis done just to have your budget planning, because as the Cost Explorer gives you the 12 months of forecasting of your based on your current usage, it gives you a kind of a future planning to have your budgets in line properly. So you can have that insights taken from the Cost Explorer, and you can have your budget in line, right? Because that is a most important thing in any kind of IT company, just to have that budget in line. So you can have a buffer kind of also consider, but it is a very good feature, I would say. And fourth is a kind of a reserve instances recommendations. So based on your whatever the optimization, for the optimization purpose, based on the EC2 usage or RDS usage, so there are kind of a limited 4 to 5 services where based on the utilization reports you can have that reserve instances. Just to name a few: EC2, RDS, Elastic Cache, or a Redis cluster. So these 4 to 5 services are there where you can, based on their optimization, you can have these reserve instances plan procure, where you can definitely get a good amount of savings, right? And last is the monthly reports and users insights. Now, uh, let's say, suppose, as I mentioned, there will be a kind of a multiple accounts. Let's say, okay, there is a kind of organization, and in the organization there are kind of a child accounts, and there are multiple teams working around your organization, and multiple team wants different kind of a monthly reports. So where you can have that reports pull out from this Cost Explorer tool only, and whatever the detailing you might require, there is a feature of filtering and grouping. You can analyze those features, and you can get the monthly report based on whatever the requirement of particular team is there. So multiple teams works on a cloud infra, right? Now there is a, just to example, let's say a organization is there, right, and there is having a kind of a financial team who would handle only the financial stuff. The database team only, it will be handling a DB kind of a instances on that stuff. So you can have that multiple teams share the multiple report based on their usage and use case. You can have that thing. Yeah. Now next slide would be a kind of a demo screen where we have captured some of the demo. Now I was just telling about you the service wise billing, right? As you can see, uh, we have just captured for the last 6 months. So for the February month, you can see the whatever the instances are there, and the histogram as mentioned, the blue color represents the RDS, the EC2 represents, the red color represents the EC2 instance. So whatever the services are you're mentioning, or whatever servicing you're leveraging, so it gets analyzing properly, and you can get this kind of a properly view, okay, how much, for how much services you are paying, how much kind of a money. So this is a kind of in a dollar format, and you can just see. And also you can from this analysis, let's say consider for the February month, the RDS cost was up to 550 something or 600, but in the next March month the cost has been risen to the 750 plus kind of thing. So where you can also have the analysis key, okay, how much my database instances were running, or major what are the, whether it was a kind of a new instances launch, or any kind of a new changes has been done. So you can get that analysis from this dashboard also. So service wise billing would help you in analyzing which service has been caused. So it would definitely help you in managing your cloud infra cost, right? Next. Now this is the, as I mentioned you, this is a kind of a granularity and filtering kind of a stuff, right? So now I just wanted to have on a day wise kind of thing. As you can see, for the May one, we have just applied that filter, the granularity daily, and you can see the daily basis kind of a cost. So you can also, you can mention key, okay, my May, considering my May 2 to May 6, the cost has been up to 20, 15 to $20, and then it has been reduced to somewhat 5 to $10, right? So these are the kind of a granularity you can get in the Cost Explorer tool. Next. Now these are the kind of also you can get this kind of a numerical formats also, just to have, let's say there is a financial team at your, and they would need a kind of a numeric data, right? So you can just get this data, you can just download it from this Cost Explorer, you can present to your financial team, right? And also it is giving a good kind of a granularity, the total cost of it for the last 6 months. For the database, it has been cost from May to June and whatsoever. You can just have that filter. Also, it is getting you the tax also. So definitely the financial team would be very happy to have that tax amount, because just to avoid that burden. So you can have it calculated here only. So you just need to have that invoice generated from your end, and you can get this whatever the granularity from a single dashboard only. Next. Now these are the forecasting, as I mentioned you about the forecasting and analysis. So let's say now September 24 is there, right? So we have not been entering into the September, still it is giving you recommendations ki this would be your cost, this would be a kind of a prediction interval. So which is a very beneficial and very benefit for every organization, just to have that forecasting in picture. Because just let's say for the next month you'll be having a low budget kind of thing, so we can have some kind of a services reduced, or let's say have some kind of optimization done considering this forecasting factor, right? So it would definitely give us a kind of a best management of a cloud financial thing, and which will help you know definitely savings a lots of kind of a commercials kind of thing. Next. Now the this AWS cost budgets parts will be continued by Siddhi. So over to you, Siddhi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sanket. It was a good explanation. Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Siddhi, and I'm also a solution architect from Cloud.in. So, without wasting any time, let's start with AWS budget. So, AWS budget is a small and simple service, but it is very important. So, AWS budget will allow you to set a custom cost and usage budgets for your AWS resources, and also it will be providing control over your spendings. It You can, as Sanket said previously, you can set an alert on AWS budget just to avoid an extra spending over that. And also, this tool enables proactive financial management, and it will offer a detailed report and forecasting capabilities. It will help you stay within your budget and optimize your cloud expenditures. We also have few types of budget, which are cost budgets. Like you can set a budget on your monthly spend, or your quarterly spend, or yearly spend. It will track overall AWS spend. And the next one is usage budget. The usage budget, you can track your resource usage. As we can say, if you want to track your EC2 usage, so you can create an alert regarding the EC2 usage, and you can mention the quantity, after which quantity you want to get that alert. And the next is reservation budget. It will track your reserved instance, or if you have any savings plans active in your AWS account. So it will track your utilization and coverage. So it is very helpful. AWS budget, it is very helpful for your cost optimization and to avoid unnecessary cost. And the next is a savings plan budget, to monitor your savings plan. As said previously, it will track your all spendings on savings plans too. uh, let's move to the key features. So these are few key features for AWS budget, like set spending limit. So it will, if you defined a specific spending limits for your AWS resources over a chosen time period, uh, after post that budget has exceeded, it will give you an alert. It will give you an email that your budget has been exceeded, and you so that you can look into it to optimize your budget. Also, the track actual versus budgeted cost. It will monitor your actual spending against your set budget to ensure you to stay within your uh, financial goals. And the next one is monitor resource usage. The AWS budget will set usage thresholds for specific AWS services or resources to ensure that your usage stay within the expected limits. It also gives you proactive management, like it will help you prevent over provisioning by alerting you when usage approaches or exceeds predefined limits. And the next one is commitment tracking. You can track your spending on savings plans, or reserved instances, ensuring you maximize your savings. And also you can see your utilization, about how you have been utilized your savings plan for past months, or it will also give you a forecasted report. The next one is custom alerts. Custom alerts will you can set up an automated alerts to to notify you when your cost or usage approach exceeded, or they are forecasted to exceed your budget. Next one is a budget report. So a budget report, it will give you a detailed report regarding your budget, regarding for how much amount you have set the budget, and if you want if you want to trigger your alarm, say that you have set your budget for $2,000. So and you want an alert if the 90% of $2,000 is your AWS bill. So you can set that I want an alert when a 90% of my mentioned amount is crossed. So when 90% of $2,000 is crossed, it will give you an alert saying that you have been reached to the 95% of your mentioned budget. So this is the AWS budget. It is very helpful. Everyone should create a budget. A first budget is of course free of cost, so there is no cost incurred in creating a single budget for your monthly expenditure. So this is a demo screen. We have created two budgets for $30 and $2,005. So when an budget reaches the mentioned amount, it gives us an alert through email. So and this we have set the limit, that if the actual cost is greater than 95%, we'll receive an alert from AWS that we have reached the 95% of the mentioned cost. Okay, so this is AWS with Cost Explorer. So this is the when you integrate AWS Cost Explorer with AWS Budget, it will give you analyzing historical data. It means if it will, as Sanket said before, it will give you your previously spent expenditures and also how the resources were utilized. It will give you, and also you can check whether how much you have spent on unnecessarily, or when AWS and also AWS Cost Explorer will provide you a detailed report on your past AWS spendings and usage, and it will allow you to identify cost strengths, also high spend areas, and the underutilized resources. Sorry. Next is setting and tracking budgets with AWS budgets. Okay, so once you have insights from Cost Explorer, you can create a customized budget in AWS budget, so that these budgets can be based on overall cost, usage of specific services, and spending on particular projects. Like you can analyze, get reports from Cost Explorer, and on basis of that you can create an alert in AWS budget. Next is receiving alerts and tracking actions. So, as I said previously, the AWS budgets will provide you with a proactive alerts feature. So, by integrating Cost Explorer insights with AWS budget, you can set up alerts that notify you when cost and usage deviate from expected patterns. And for resources like instances, EC2 instances, if Cost Explorer shows a sudden spike in usage, then you can configure AWS budget to send an alert and help prevent unexpected expenses. And it also has automated actions, so that you can also configure AWS budget to trigger automated actions when a budget threshold is bridged, such as stopping non-essential resources, or scaling down, so that this automation ensures that you maintain control over your cloud cost. Then the last one is continuous optimization. So, ongoing analysis, we can regularly review Cost Explorer reports to assess the effectiveness of your budget. And also, if you notice any disturbance or any discrepancy or areas of improvement, you can adjust your budgets in AWS budgets accordingly. Like if you see that you have need to increase the instance size or decrease the instance size, so you can accordingly configure the budget and you can create a new budget accordingly. Okay. So next is a cost anomaly detection tool. It's a tool, like Sanket said previously, it is a machine learning technology, and it will help you to identify anomalous spend and the root causes, so that you can quickly take actions. And it is a very simple service with a three simple steps. You can create your own uh, content and monitor and receive alerts when any anomalous spend is detected. So it is also an important service. So uh, let let builders build and let AWS cost anomaly detection monitor your spend and reduce the risk of billing surprises, so that we are not surprised to see when the AWS monthly billing has crossed our threshold limits. So we can enable this. It is a very simple service. You can just enable and the cost anomaly detection tool will start the service, and it will provide you with the detailed report and your spend, and also the root causes of what or on which service you have spent the most. Okay, so these are some features regarding cost anomaly detection tool. So as said before, it is a machine learning based machine learning tool. It uses a machine learning model to identify unusual spending patterns and alert you when there are any anomalies in your AWS account. It is a AWS managed service, so there is no need to manage in this any. You just have to log in into the console and you have to enable the service. The next is customizable detection settings. So you can also customize. You can have a customized detection settings to fit your specific needs and your spending patterns. Like if you want to uh, if you want that if you have multiple service and you want that only few of them should be allocated for the particular amount, and if that particular amount crosses that limit, you will get an alert. So you can configured like a budget like thing for your specific resources, so that you can avoid unnecessary spendings. Next is automatic and real-time monitoring. So this tool will automatically monitor your AWS cost and also the usage of the resources which are active in your AWS accounts in a real time. So this will give you more benefits so that you can proactively monitor your cost or monitor your usage in your day-to-day life, and you can uh, align your budget or align the resources optimization accordingly. And also it will provide you with the timely alerts when you have some anomalies that your specific instance is not being used, or the specific RDS database instance has not been used. So it will provide you with the alerts that this instance has not been used. You can downgrade it, or when the upgrade is needed, you can get an alert. So next is a cost category and service specific alert. So these are like you can set up alerts as said before for specific cost categories or AWS services to track anomalies in those areas. So if you want to set alerts for a specific EC2 instance, or if you want to only set alerts for any of the services like load balancers or RDS or any of WAF CloudFront, you can align your specific budget for specific services, and you can define it in AWS cost anomaly detection, so that it will provide you a detailed monitoring and provide you with the detailed report of your cost. So, and also a cost anomaly detection, it also has a historical analyzing feature. So it will provide you insight based on your historical spending data, uh, helping you to understand trends and identify patterns if anywhere you are lacking in, or you are, or you have some unused resources or something like that. Also we have a dashboard integration feature in this. It's like the alerts and detected anomalies are integrated into AWS management console. So it will allow you to monitor your resources easily, and it will also allow you to manage your resources and the usage spend on it easily. So the anomaly detection is integrated with the main AWS consoles dashboard. It will provide you with all the insights over there. And as it also has a feature like root cause analysis. So whatever the anomalies are detected, and whatever the monitoring has provided the results with, it offers this features of root cause analysis to help you investigate and understand the reasons behind the detected anomalies. So this was all the features of AWS cost anomaly detection and it is really a very helpful features. So unfortunately we haven't provided any demo screen because we okay. So the next is AWS Trusted Advisor. It is a very common service that everyone knows, and AWS Trusted Advisor will it is for your AWS, it is for your whole AWS account. Like it will scan your AWS account, it will scan all your resources, and it will provide you with a recommendation based on the 5 pillars of AWS. It will help you optimize your cost. It will help you increase your performance, improve security and resilience, and also it will help you in operating and scaling your AWS cloud. So, AWS Trusted Advisor continuously evaluates your AWS environment and using the best practices, and it continuously checks that each and every category very granularly, I can say, of your cloud, so that it can provide you with the best recommendations based on cost optimization, or your performance, or resilience and security, operational excellence, these 5 pillars. And it recommends actions to remediate any if any unusage or any unnecessary resource is active in your AWS account as a best practice. So these are some key features of AWS Trusted Advisor. So first is of course cost optimization. So it will give you and recommendations or any suggestions basis on your AWS environment, or it will scan your resource and it will give you a detailed report that which of the service or which of the resources unutilized, or which needs to upgrade to get better performance. It will suggest the ways to reduce your AWS spending by identifying unused and underutilized resources. And the next is a performance, of course. Performance, it will offers you advice on how to improve the performance of your AWS resources, like if any of the resources needs an upgrade, or any of their RDS engine is been working on older version. So it will give you a recommendation that your RDS engine version is older, you need an upgrade to improve your performance. So it will provide you a detailed advice on how to improve performance of your AWS resources uh, to better match your workload. And the next is service limits. So it will give you alerts when you are approaching the limit of AWS service quotas. So this service limit feature will help you to prevent potential disturbance if you have. And the last one is actionable insights. So AWS Trusted Advisor is, as I said, it works on 5 pillars. So including this actionable insights, it will provide you with the specific actions that you need to take to address what recommendations has provided, and improve your AWS environment. So as I said, that it will give you a notification that resource is underutilized, and at the same time it will also give you that how you can solve this. Like a recommendation that if it is underutilized, you can downgrade it, or if it is overutilized, you can upgrade it. So it not only provides you with a report of what resources are underutilized, or what are the disturbance in performance. It will also provide you with the recommendations that how you should improve your performance and how you should save your cost. Like it will also give you, if you don't have any savings plan or reserved instances in your account, so it will also give, on basis of your utilization, it will also provide you to it will also give you a suggestion to purchase a savings plan, and what savings plan you need to purchase. It will also provide you with that recommendations. So this was the overall AWS cost optimization service. Though these services are short and simple, but we can say these are very important service, and everyone should take look into all this service to align their budgets and to stay within their financial budgets, so that there are no unnecessary spends in AWS. Though AWS is a pay as you go, but what if you left the instance on and you forgot to stop it? It is also an unnecessary spend. So everyone should align the budget, and you can align your workload and enable these features in your AWS account to avoid unnecessary spends and unnecessary usage. Also, in conclusion, I could say the effective cloud cost management is very crucial for optimizing your AWS spending, and ensuring your resources are aligned with your financial goals. So, by leveraging these AWS services, like AWS Cost Explorer, will give you a powerful insights and AWS budgets with proactive monitoring and alerts. You can gain better visibility into your cost and set meaningful budgets, and also you can take actionable steps to stay within your financial targets. So implementing these tools not only helps in managing cost more efficiently, but also it will enable you to make informed decisions for better resource allocation, and to plan a overall cloud strategy. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and we hope you found this webinar valuable for your enhancing your cloud cost management best practices. Yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank
So
you, Sanket and Siddhi. It was really an insightful presentation. Siddhi and Sanket, we have a question. I will just quickly read it out for you. So the question is for Samir, and he's asking, is there any additional charges to enable AWS cost anomaly detection service?
Samir, there are minimal charges, not more than $1 or $2 monthly. So you can for first for free tier you can enable the cost anomaly detection charges. So there are minimal charges.
Thank you, Siddhi. The session is open for Q&A. If there are questions, you can type in the question section, or you can raise your hand and I will unmute you. We will just wait for a minute or two to check if there are any questions, or otherwise we'll conclude the session. Siddhi, there is one more question from Mohammed. He is asking if there is any demo available.
As for now, the demo is not available, but in our next session, we'll definitely provide everyone with a demo. So for now,
And
the
just to
demo.
add to, yeah, just to add to Siddhi, Mohammed, if you want a demo kind of thing, we can definitely have a on a next week kind of a call arranged for you. So we can take it up as a one-on-one interaction also. So you can just drop your mail ID and then our sales team will connect you and we can just have the demo arranged separately for you.
Thank you, Sanket. There are no more questions, so I guess we can conclude the session. Thank you all for attending the session. We appreciate your being with us today. I have pasted one link in the chat box. It will be helpful if you can share your feedback on the session through that link. And have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.